Welcome to the Mindset Unleashed Today podcast. My name is Tommy Gucciardo, and I'm excited to share my insights and experiences with you to help you shift your mindset and improve your life. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exploring different areas of life, discussing how to make positive changes. Now, I'll be doing this by interviewing guests who can provide additional perspectives and their experiences. I believe that by making a mindset shift, we can all unleash our full potential and create the lives we want to live. I hope you'll join me on this journey. How you doing, everyone? I want to welcome you back to the Mindset Unleashed Today podcast. I'm Tommy Gucciardo, and I'm your host. So this is actually a good topic because I was doing this before I started filming this podcast, and it's procrastination, right? And that's something that I struggle with. Like I say all the time, I struggle with a lot of stuff. But procrastination is one of them. Some days I'm good, some days I'm bad. I think if I really want to do something, I do it. If I don't want to do it and I feel it's a chore, I definitely procrastinate with it. Well, sometimes I just procrastinate in general. But, I'm the type, if you tell me on January 1st I have to do something, and it's, July 1st, and I have to do a project and it's due that day, the first month I'll be looking at it and I'll map it out maybe and I'll say, all right, I'll start tomorrow. Then the next thing I do is 2 months later, I look at it again. Oh, I didn't start this. Maybe I should do this, this, and this. And I don't start the project. And I think you know where the story's going. As, we get to the end of the project, a couple of weeks before, my anxiety level starts going through the roof. I have to finish this. And I say, I'm going to start tomorrow. Or let's get this started right away. And I don't start it. And something else comes along. And then it's 2 days before. And then I'm in total crisis mode. And I'm rambling through and I'm like a runaway train and I get whatever I have to get done. That's the way my mind thinks a lot of the times. And that's a very bad way to think because I put a lot of unwanted stress and a lot of, unwanted stress on other people around me because when I'm in that crisis mode, everybody else becomes in this crisis mode. So, it's not fair to me. It's not fair to other people. And, a lot of times I talk about a lot of different things, but a lot of the stuff intertwines. It's procrastination is almost like a goal, right? So you have to treat it like a goal. And, the one thing I do now, and, so it helps me get away from the procrastination. Listen, sometimes we're going to procrastinate on something because we just don't want to do it or we something that we just, maybe we're not happy with. And yes, we can procrastinate on those things and take some time, but if you have a deadline, you have to work with the deadline. So, the one thing I do now is, especially if it's an overwhelming project, is I set up small little individual goals. Like by this day, I'm going to complete this part of it, or, a month from now, I'm going to complete this part of it. So what happens along the way is there's progress, right? There's not, okay, I'm going to start it and you don't start it, or I'm going to do something else, or I'm going to get, have the shiny, light up, syndrome where something else comes along and I run and do something else. No, I take little bits and pieces along the way. So when the end of the project comes, we're not in full-blown crisis mode. Yeah, you might be in a little crisis mode because you're trying to get something done, but you already have a little bit of the project done already, or a little bit of what you're trying to do done already, and that helps, right? The other thing too is, don't set unmanageable goals, deadlines. And that's the one thing, as great as you feel and great as I feel about things, and I have confidence in myself, if something's going to take a month, don't say it's going to take a week, because you're just going to put unwanted stress on yourself, right? And that'll help you with the procrastination part of it, because a lot of times when you feel overwhelmed and you feel, like there's too much, the procrastination kicks in. It's really, really simple to kick in. So, set manageable deadlines, right? Don't get yourself crazy. Don't get yourself overwhelmed. And it's a little bit easier to get this job done. Another thing that I kind of do now is, when I'm working on something or when I have a goal that I have to work on something at a certain point, the TV's not on, the radio's not on, nothing that's going to distract me is on, right? Or nothing that's going to distract me. It's my time. I close out everything else, right? And I work on what I'm supposed to work on. And, that helps a lot because now, if you have the TV in the background or you have a radio on or something happens, you have a game in the background, then you run to watch the game before you know what you're watching the game, right? Before you know what you're watching the football game, the basketball game, whatever it is, and the project that you're supposed to be doing stops, right? So that's another way. Your mind's easily, now you're in procrastination mode. Something else came along, something better came along, and that's what you're trying to do, right? So, those are really 3 things that I do to help me get past that procrastination. And the other thing too is I reward myself. So like the final piece of the puzzle, it's almost a bonus, is I give myself, a little bit of incentive. If I do this, I get this, right? So, if I know I get something done, maybe I reward myself with something. Maybe I reward myself with watching that game. Or maybe I reward myself with some time off. Or whatever the case may be. But I just give myself something that, it'll help me focus on, completing the project. Almost like a game, right? So I motivate myself along the way, right? So I play a game with myself to trick my mind to get through this stuff. So that helps me break through procrastination, right? And listen, I said it before and I'll say it again. I think we're all going to procrastinate at one point or another. It's just a matter of how in-depth that procrastination is, right? So, just take one bit at a time, right? Don't get yourself overwhelmed with stuff. Procrastination will seep into other areas of your life too, right? It just doesn't have to be a project. It could be going to the store, right? You have to go major food shopping. I'm not going to go today, right? I have to go get milk and sugar. I don't go today. Next thing you know, you need paper towels and dishwashing detergent. And then the third. So if you keep procrastinating, then all of a sudden there's a big project that has to happen. And now you're spending 4 hours in the supermarket instead of spending like 5 minutes every once in a while in the supermarket. So, procrastination could seep into a lot of areas of your life, right? So, maybe the goals might not work on it, maybe deadlines will, but just focus on getting one job done at a time, right? Don't get yourself overwhelmed, and that sometimes that makes the procrastination easier to happen. So, for me, I just take little bits and pieces, and I try to put that into all aspects of my life, right? Whether it's creating a goal, whether procrastination, no matter what, I just take bite-sized pieces on a daily basis. Not get myself overwhelmed, not get myself into full crisis mode all the time. Just taking things simple. So I hope this helps a little bit so we don't have to procrastinate anymore and get our stuff done during the day. Because, being in that crisis mode, being, busy and rushing around for no reason, it's not healthy. It's really not healthy. And life is too short, right? And we want to enjoy life. We want to go out there and be successful in life. And we just want to be happy in life. And, negativity doesn't help us be happy, right? Positivity does. So if you're in a good space and you're in a good mood and things are going right, you'll be healthy. You'll be, people will be around you will be happier. And that's what it's all about. It's about just shifting our mindsets away from the negative and bringing it into the positive. So once again, I hope somebody got something out of this. And the only way we can help change everybody's mindset and live a better life and be positive is by liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting on this post, the podcast post, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you see. Just go out there, and if I know that you're looking for something, or if you're liking a comment, or if you're putting a comment on or subscribing, I know how I can help you. So once again, everybody, have a great week, and I'll see you next week.